difficulties. Hopefully everyone can come over here. This is stressing me out, not gonna lie. I wanted this to be a horizontal thing so you could see the spread horizontally, but for some reason my phone is like only wanting me to go live vertically, which is so dumb and so stupid. But I guess we just have to make do. Okay, I'm gonna go, let me talk in the chat real quick. Welcome. Okay. Yeah, this is a little frustrating. I wish we could do a horizontal layout, but YouTube is making me do a vertical one because I'm doing this on my phone. Anyway, but welcome to all of you guys here. Again, so sorry for the delay, but I'm really excited to make a weekly spread with you guys, and it should be a really fun time. So, while everyone is just slowly trickling in, go ahead and if you have any questions I'm going to answer during the live or anything you want to say, drop it in the chat box. I have it next to me so I can see anything that you guys are asking, and I'll answer any of your questions. But with that being said, I'm basically just gonna get started. So obviously I have this like drawing here of this rock star girl that I did last night. Honestly, it's like not my favorite. I think her face is kind of unproportionate and I don't know, it's not my fave, but it's cute and I still like it. So I'm going to be using this in this spread. So obviously because this is a vertical layout, because YouTube is being annoying, it's a vertical layout. So unfortunately I'm gonna have to like go back and forth for each side of the page, but we'll just do one spread at a time, or one side of the spread at the time. So I think it'll still be fine. So my intention for this spread was I wanted to do a rolling weekly. So on the left side is going to be like 8 different boxes, and we're going to have one for every day of the week and then one final box for like the next week section. And then on the right, it's going to be the rolling weekly part. So I'm basically just going to have a line here Monday through Sunday, and this is where I'll put all of my weekly to-dos, and I can just like draw a little line at the end. So I'll show you guys maybe later in this live like what I'm actually going to do. But I do just want to get started with the art because it might take a hot second for me to like get everything done because scrapbooking does take a little while. So I'm just going to get started and just get right into it. So I had some scrapbooking pieces that I pulled out earlier that I think I'm already just going to use in this top right corner. So I thought I would just put like this black paper on the background first, and then I'll have like these two things maybe layering somewhere, and then like we have Rockstar on top, you know? Do you guys like that? What do you think? It's not like too difficult of a spread, but I just feel like I want something really decorative and heavy in this top corner, and then everything else will be like really simple. Yeah. Okay, let me check the chat box. Hello, hello, welcome. If you guys are bullet journaling with me, let me know. Are you guys making weekly spreads with me? Maybe setting up for the new month if you haven't already. I know personally, since I like make YouTube videos, I'm always having to do things like really far in advance because I have to like post the YouTube video for the month like before the month starts, obviously, which means I have to film it like way before the month starts. And so like I'm always doing my May, for example, setup at like the 20th of April. So I'm always like have to be really ahead, but I forget like not everyone does that. So if you haven't set up your May spreads yet, like do you have any plans for them? Or if you have set them up already, like what's y'all's themes? I'm really curious. So let me know in the chat box if you guys have a bullet journal. I know not everyone who watches me has a bullet journal, but I know a lot of people do. Okay, so I just used glue for this, and I'm gonna have to cut around the edges because it's unfortunately not a perfect fit on the end. So pulling out my scissors here. Okay, actually, let me flip it over this way and cut it this way so I can just like see the black paper and be a little more precise. It's not perfect. I mean, it never is perfect, but like that's pretty good. Oh goodness, I just kicked my tripod. No, wait. Okay. technical difficulties today. Oh my goodness. I went live a couple weeks ago and it like literally was no problem. It went flawlessly. It was so fun. And then I try to do it again and then YouTube's like, no, we're gonna mess you up and you're gonna have all these technical difficulties today because of course. Of course, YouTube. Okay, reading the chat box. Kiwi Bujo said that you're doing jellyfish/fish for June. That's super cute. I love fish themes for like summer spreads because like obviously it's like summer and ocean and like beach and stuff. I love that. I did a jellyfish theme in my bullet journal like I think it was 2020 actually, hot second ago. But super fun. Super fun. I'm just laying these out. Like I said, I kind of already had this planned before I started the live, so I kind of know where I want generally everything to be. But I am going to use my pencil and like add little tick marks right here where I want to glue this in. That way I can take everything off and I won't like lose my spot, you know? I wish I had like dot rollers or something. I ran out of those like a month or two ago. And ever since I just had to use like glue sticks because I mean, okay, I could go on Amazon and order a quick little, I don't know, $6 pack of like dot rollers. I really could solve this problem for myself if I cared about it that much, but I'm a little lazy and I don't want to. So I've been using these like glue sticks that I got at CVS and said, which work perfectly fine. I mean, glue is, you know, it works, but it does like take a little longer to make things stick. And also like the dot rollers were a lot better at like not letting little edges stick up. So I have to make sure I get this purple like all the way to the edge of these papers. Just because I feel like the adhesion is just not as strong. But like I said, it's a me problem. If I really, really was worried about it, like I could fix it. I can get myself to Amazon and order some dot rulers. Okay, so I drew this picture here on sticker paper because it is with alcohol markers, and I've talked about this a million times before on my channel, but basically alcohol markers are really strong and they bleed through normal paper, right? And so I do mine on sticker paper. That way it's super easy just to peel off the back and stick it in. I don't have to worry about any ghosting or bleeding. So I'm just gonna stick this in right here, and I gotta be super careful because I want her legs to be like parallel with this line, but I also want to make sure that everything fits on the page. So let me just kind of see with that. And yeah, that works, I think. Okay, flattening everything out. I drew this last night, and when I drew it, I used Mod Podge to kind of like solidify everything so that everything wouldn't, what's it called? Like ghost onto the other side of the page. So it's a little textured, and there's also a little bit of gray right here, but that's more like a me problem of like messing with it. And maybe doing the Mod Podge just slightly bit too early. But yeah, that looks really good for now. Let me see what y'all are saying in the chat box. Made by Juju said that she's doing an olive trees theme for May. Oh, that sounds super, super pretty. Oh my goodness. Olive trees are like super aesthetic. They remind me of like Greece and Europe and stuff. Oh, it's so fun. A lot of you said that you guys are bullet journaling. Tulips for May, classic. I love that. Kiwi just said that last month was Mario, and in April is going to be jellyfish, and then this month she did colorful lines. I love that. Super creative. Call me Zuza said it's 10 p.m. Yeah, I always have the hardest time like figuring out when to do these lives because I know I have viewers from like all over the world, and so obviously like my 3 p.m. is not always you guys' 3 p.m. So I like I try to find the best time to like host these because I know people, actually I should do calligraphy first. People may be like going to bed or whatever when I'm just waking up. I'm just lettering May here, and I could be doing some like fancy ombre technique that I did for the other spreads in this setup so far. Like here, let me flip to the cover page and show you guys. In case you haven't seen my May bullet journal setup that I posted on YouTube, which you're fake if you haven't, because I posted it last weekend. Anyway, I'm not gonna show you the full setup, but just the cover page. This is my setup, like the punk rock theme. As you can see, the May lettering here is like ombre with like pink, black, and then back to pink. I like the style a lot. but it does take me like a hot second to do. And I'm just feeling a little bit lazy today. So we're just going to do the basic calligraphy with a black pen. But I will add a drop shadow, I think, with a marker. Let me see. Yeah, okay, I'm going to use this as a drop shadow, but let me erase the pencil lines first, because you can't erase pencil after you use water-based marker on top of it. And then I'm basically just going to like trace the underside and the right of the calligraphy, like I'm doing the same word again, to add a drop shadow to the right and bottom of almost all of the lines. There we go. That's super cute. Super cute. Call Me Zuza asked, where am I from? I live in the US and I'm from Texas. So I'm currently in college right now though. And I was actually going to talk about this on the live actually, but it's actually my last week of college, which is so nice. So I'm actually going home this weekend. Not this weekend, sorry, next week. Why did I say this weekend? I'm a bold-faced liar. Next week. So next Wednesday I'm going home. I basically had my last college class on Tuesday. And then the past few days I've been technically studying, but I don't really have much to study for. And then tomorrow I have 2 finals, and then next Tuesday I have 1 more final, but they're all going to be like relatively easy. And then next week, Wednesday, I'm out of here. So I get the summer free, and I'm super excited. I'm not doing an internship this summer, although, I mean, I could have if I wanted to apply to one, but I just figured that with YouTube and everything, I didn't want to like add anything else to my schedule, and I wanted a little bit of a break from like working all the time. So I'm not going to be doing an internship this summer, so it's basically just going to be really chill, getting to like hang out with my friends that I haven't seen in a long time because like we've all, went off to college. And yeah, I'm really excited about that. But one thing that does mean is I'm not going to be in my dorm for another like 3.5 months. So it's sad, kind of. Not actually, because I'm really excited to go home, but also it's kind of funny because like the dorm, while it's like not my favorite place in the entire world, I do like how I decorated it, because obviously like I could decorate it because it's like my dorm kind of thing, compared to at home when my parents decorate their own house, which of course like they have total complete like right to do that. But personally, like some of the walls, like for example where my desk is in the game room at home, has like blue walls, which is like, fun and funky, but it's like not my aesthetic at all. And so when I film videos here at the dorm, I feel a lot more like I could film my face, or I can film talking videos more often, just because I like the colors in here. Like I have tan walls, browns, greens, and it already matches like the aesthetic of my channel. But then like when I'm home, for example, I feel like less, like I don't really want to film talking head portions as often, because like the background of my desk is just like so boring, So I mean, there are pros and cons, but like I am really excited to go home and have the summer free. It's gonna be super fun. Okay, so this is what I've done so far. I have, of course, the collage, the title, and then I have these 2 like little playlist boxes right here. I figured I had a little bit of like extra space, so I wanted to fill up the space with something. And since this is a rock and roll theme, I figured I'd put like some music that I've been listening to recently. Because one thing is like a bullet journal is a time capsule for me, so I love looking back to my old bullet journals, and especially where I put like things like this, because I can remind myself of like what I was listening to or what books I was reading at the time in my life. And so like going back to my old bullet journals like from 2-3 years ago, it's always fun to be like, what was I listening to, and having things like this help me with that. So currently, recently, I've been so obsessed with Dominic Fike's music, especially his 2020 album called What Could Possibly Go Wrong. It's literally so good. Like, if you have 30 minutes this afternoon or this evening or whatever time it is for you, go listen to that album. It's actually like amazing. And it's like currently like my favorite, like literally no skip album. So I've been listening to his songs and this album like basically on repeat. And they're not rock songs, because it's technically like a rock and roll punk kind of theme. They're not rock, but they are super fun. And so I'm just like putting these here just to kind of remind me a couple of my favorite songs. This one is Superstar Shit, but it like covered that side. And then this one is Whirly. And yeah, so good. I'm missing a color in these like spots right here. Technically, they should be imitations of the album cover if they're like Spotify play buttons, but I don't want to draw the album cover, so I'm just going to be sloppy and do that. And then at the bottom here, this is where I'm going to have my rolling weekly. So basically, on the left side of the spread is where I'm gonna have all my boxes for the days of the week. And that's where I'm gonna put any like main events happening this week. Like on Wednesday I'm moving, on Tuesday I have a final, that kind of thing. But because I'm moving back to Houston next week, there's a lot less like things on each day and a lot more just random tasks that need to be done. So I'm gonna list all of my tasks here, and I write it in pencil just like an example. So let's say I have to like vacuum dorm, right? I'm just going to put the task list here, and then if I have to do it on Tuesday, I'm going to draw a line over to the Tuesday and then do a little circle there. So that way I know like what day of the week I need to do this task. If for some reason I don't do it Tuesday, I have to push it to Wednesday, then I'll just add another circle there, and I'll just keep moving it along as far as I need to. And I'm doing this because this week I just happen to have a lot more like to-dos than events. So I'm like dividing the two and giving myself a lot of room for to-dos, whereas usually I would have a lot more room for events and have a small space for to-dos. I know when I call it the rolling weekly, there's a lot of people that have like different names for it, or like the rolling weekly means something else to them. Like some people take the rolling weekly as like they make a new spread or a new like section of the spread every day. So it's like constantly like moving and evolving as the week goes on. Personally, I haven't tried one of those in like a couple of years. And for me, that's not what a rolling weekly means. It means like this setup. But I mean, like everyone has different names for things. So whatever you call it is, you know, whatever you call it. Okay, I'm reading the chat box. Someone said that they had their final exam today and setting up their bullet journal was definitely a reward. Girl, I feel you. But congratulations on finishing your final exam. That must be like super stressful. Oh my gosh, she also said that her name translates to tulip. That's super cute. Kiwi Bujo says that we're in the same time zone. Oh, fun. Okay, so I never have to worry about you missing the live because we're always at the same time. Hello to all the new viewers. Thank you for being here. We're just making a quick little weekly spread. Call Me Zuza asked, how much time do I spend recording my monthly spread videos? It really, I hate this answer because I hate when people like say it depends, but it really does depend, unfortunately, because some spread setups are a lot more intense than others. So for example, my May setup, the one I did with the Rockstar theme here, I think it took me like, wait, one sec, okay. I think it took me like 4 to 5 hours to film everything. And that's just raw footage. Technically, filming does take a little longer than that. Well, I'm being really sloppy with these lines. Goodness, can I draw a straight line, Sophie? Technically, filming can be longer than that if I take a little break or if I do a couple things off camera to help prep for filming. Usually, the raw footage is around 3 to 5 hours because I'm doing multiple spreads. And also, if I'm making a weekly spread, like, okay, if I made 3 spreads in a monthly setup and it took me like 3 hours, that isn't to say that most spreads in my bullet journal takes me an hour to do. It's just that when I'm filming, I usually have to do things a little bit more precise and pay a little bit more attention to what I'm doing because I'm obviously posting a video for YouTube and I want it to be good quality. And also, because my monthly setups can usually be a lot more detailed than like a weekly spread, for example. Like this spread right here is really, other than this corner, it's gonna be very simple. And also this corner didn't take me that long because like I'd planned things out before and it was like really minimal decoration, all things considered. But whenever I do my monthly setups, I usually do like a huge design on the cover page, and I usually spend a lot of time adding like art and design to like buff out a spread. And so because of that, it usually can take me, you know, a lot longer to add that much detail in and to go slow and everything and to be more precise. Or like, for example, right here, my lines are super shaky and not precise just because I'm not as worried about it being perfect. So that being said, it usually is like raw footage of 3 to 5 hours. And then I usually like really speed it up and then add jump cuts and stuff for the parts where my like hands are out of the camera. And then it usually ends up being like a 20-25 minute long video. Just double checking. Okay, yeah. Just want to make sure that these are even. So basically what I'm doing here is drawing all the horizontal lines for the 8 boxes, and then I'll go in and drawing all the vertical lines for the 8 boxes, and then I'll go in and add the horizontal ones in just a second. I think it's just, I don't know, more efficient to do them all in one direction first. I don't know if like you guys do the same thing, but it's just like what I've been doing. So I've been like thinking about how I want to decorate this side of the spread, because like obviously right now it's a lot of white, and because there's a lot of like dark contrast and like color in this corner, which I know you guys can't really see right now because of the stupid vertical layout. I wish it was horizontal. YouTube didn't want me to be horizontal. Oh, well, okay, that sounded so dirty. I meant YouTube didn't want the live to be horizontal today. But I had to do vertical. But it's fine. You know, we live and we learn. We're adapting. But with that being said, like that side of the spread is a lot more like dark and saturated. So I was wondering like how I wanted this side of the spread to be, and how I could like balance out the spread, because I made a video about this like years ago, like I think 3 to 4 years ago, about how to balance bullet journaling spreads. I still stand by what I said in that video, but I just don't think it was a very well made video. But with that being said, like I always like to think about color and like darkness. Like for example, if you put a grayscale filter on this video right now, there'd be really, really dark in this corner and really light everywhere else because it's all white, obviously. So whenever I think about it, I try to think about how to balance the values and the darknesses versus lightness of the page, and also like the color and saturation. So if there's a lot of hot pink here, I want to move there to be hot pink here as well. So with that being said, I'm trying to think like how I want to decorate these boxes to make them more colorful and or darker to add more contrast. And I think what I might do is color some of them pink, because I have a pink marker that's like light enough that I can write on top of it with black pen, and it wouldn't like, it won't like, the black will still show up basically. Here, I'll pull it out. Give me just a second. Let me fill up this last one. Okay, that was incredibly tedious. So I have these 3 pink water-based pens, and so this one's the lightest, obviously this is the darkest. These, okay, stepping back. When I make this drawing, I use alcohol markers. It's these alcohol markers, these 3 pink ones, but I found matching water-based markers to kind of use the same tones when I'm filling out the rest of my spread that's not on sticker paper. So this middle one is no, I think it was this one, is this color here. And I'm thinking it's like still light enough to draw on top of with black marker or a black pen when I'm writing my weekly like events and like to-dos in these boxes. So what I could do is color in like every other of these boxes with pink. Do you think that's a good idea? The other option is I could add like black borders for the headers, but I think it's still going to be like a lot of just like black and white, and I want more color over here. You know what I'm saying? Also, let me put these there for a second. I have a couple washi tapes. Let me pull them out. I have these 2 washi tapes that are black. So I'm probably going to use these to like add more, you know, black contrast on the other side of the page. And then I didn't have any like huge stickers or like layering devices, because I use them all right here. But I did make, if I can pick them up off the table, 1 second. I did make these 3 pink stars. They look like starfish, actually, now that I'm looking at them, but they're supposed to be like, you know, random stars. So I'm probably going to put these in the corner as well to also add more pink. But I'll do that at the very end with the washi tape, because since it like sticks on top of things, I like to make sure that the background is all like done first. So with that being said, I think I'm going to do a couple of these boxes in pink, and then we can add the black afterwards. I think that's what we're going to do. Emily asked, how do you not feel insecure about the stuff you put in there? I always feel that way. Insecure, do you mean like insecure about the stuff I'm posting? Question mark? Or like, okay, comment and let me know what you mean. But if you mean insecure about the stuff that like I'm posting, honestly, and it like sounds weird, but like I've just been posting for so long. Like I started posting YouTube videos in like July 2020, and like obviously whenever I started posting those videos back then, like journaling was very new to me. I had just started like January of that same year, but I was like loving the hobby so much that I didn't really feel self-conscious about my designs. Like, even though they weren't like super pretty and they weren't like Amanda Rachel Lee level and stuff like that, I was still just like super excited to like share things online because it was like a huge hobby of mine, you know? And then now, like 4 years later, it's like, I don't know. It's like I've just gotten so used to it. Like, I've always posted my bullet journal. I think there's been like 1 or 2 months that I've skipped a plan with me in like the past 4 years. But like besides that, I've always like shared things, and I've always posted on Instagram and stuff. So I've just gotten like really used to like sharing my creations and stuff. And like, you know, we're all gonna get hate comments. Like, I don't know if y'all saw my Instagram story like this morning, but I got a hate comment today, and the person like started the hate comment with, not to like hate on you, but, and I'm like, girl, if you say that, you're starting off a hate comment. Like, that's literally what it is. But anyway, we all get hate comments and stuff like that, but I think just in general, like, the community is really supportive. And I don't know, I love sharing like my drawings and stuff, even if they're not perfect, just because it's like fun to share what you're doing, like share your hobbies with other people. Okay, let me read. She said, no, when I make stuff, I do my own bullet journal sometimes. Like, do you feel confident about your own creation all the time? Yeah, I mean, there are definitely like spreads that I make or art that I make that I don't like at all. And I usually still post like most of it. Like, for example, like right now, this drawing over here, I guess you guys can't see it, she's off screen, but it's not my favorite drawing. But I'm still going to use it because I spent time and effort on it. But there are definitely a lot of times where I maybe am doing a setup and I just feel like this is really ugly and like I don't like it and I don't think other people are going to like it. So then I do feel insecure about it. There have been definitely times where I've like completely scrapped a bullet journal spread that I've made. Like, I can spend literally, not even a spread, like a video. Like, I'll spread like 3-4 hours on a video, and then I'll step back after I'm done and be like, I actually hated that entire setup. And I don't think I want to use this for the next month. I don't want to share with people. So then, like, I'll completely redo it. Like, for example, this February, I filmed my entire cover page, and then I realized I hated it and redid it. And then last December, I filmed an entirely different setup than the one you guys saw. I posted one that was like houses on hills with, oh no, wait, this was last year. Last year I did this, where I posted the reindeer theme. And I had done a theme before that about like little mice and like cozy houses and stuff, but I hated that theme, so I completely scrapped that video that I made and then refilmed it and re-edited a video about reindeer, and then I posted the reindeer one instead. So like, I definitely do feel insecure, and sometimes I like, you know, post things with like art in it that I don't love, or like spreads that I'm just like not super proud of. But I think part of it is just like being really honest with yourself, because like obviously not everything you create is going to be perfect. And as much as I want to create like good content to post, I also want to be real about when I'm not creating things that I like, or when I'm in a creative block or an art slump or something. So yeah, that was like a rambly way to answer your question. But yes, I do feel insecure and I don't feel confident about my creations all the time. But I try to push myself to still share things and like be honest whenever I'm in like a period of like not loving my art, you know? Because, you know, for example, if I went through an art slump and I like hated what I was creating and I completely just like stopped drawing for like 3 weeks, not only would I have no content, but it would make it really hard to like get back into it. So I just have to like train myself to like keep working through the art slump, and like even if I make really simple spreads, just still keep doing them, and then eventually I'll get to the point where I'm like back into my creative like grind again. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, so long-winded explanation. But if you want anything like quick and simple, my channel is not the place to go to for like quick, easy answers. Okay, one person said, don't you sometimes forget to journal? Because I've always wanted to start a journal, but I always forget that I have one already. I feel this so much. Whenever I first started bullet journaling in 2020, like before I was creating content, I didn't have, like I said, content or a channel or anything. And I actually like very rarely made weekly spreads. I basically, can I find the start of this washi tape? Hello? Okay, there it is. I basically just made like, you know, calendars, a cover page, and like that was it. But I think starting a channel and like just constantly posting about my bullet journal has like helped me stay consistent, because I have videos to post, you know, like I have to make sure that I'm creating things, because that's how I like post videos and like create content. I think in general, there are definitely weeks where I like make a spread and just like not use it. Like every now and then I can just like skip a week and don't make a spread, but usually I make one for video's sake, but then I may just end up like not using it in the end, which is like fine. I'll just like have a blank spread. But I do think that in general I don't really forget often just because like I'm making content. With that being said though, for the people who like are struggling to remember, I have a couple tips that I've like talked about in a couple videos before, but they've just been like old videos. I would definitely recommend maybe like setting a timer on your phone like once a day, maybe in the morning, maybe at night, just to remind yourself like, hey, journaling time. Like make sure you put your bullet journal, check your to-dos, like fill out your trackers, that kind of thing. I also recommend like keeping your bullet journal incredibly accessible. Like my bullet journal sits on my desk, visible, or it's in my backpack when I take it like to classes and stuff, like 24/7. And so if your bullet journal is like on a shelf or in a drawer where you can't see it, you're never going to be reminded to do it, you know? But if it's like visible and you're always looking at it, then you'll remember like, oh, hey, I need to go journal right now, you know? So I think it's just a matter of like making it accessible. And like after a while, it'll start to become a habit. And then you'll like do it more consistently. You don't even have to use the like reminder. It'll already be like instilled in your head to like journal more often. And then lastly, to answer this question, I also think like in general, when you're like using a bullet journal and like you really need it to plan things, like if you have an entire calendar laid out and it's basically nowhere else, like you have all of your to-dos here and you need this for referencing stuff, I think that also is a great way to get used to bullet journaling more often, because you're literally like forcing yourself to have to access your journal for things like for your to-do lists or for your events that day. And so then when you get used to like having to use your bullet journal, then you obviously won't forget because I mean, you need it, you know, it's like in your productivity system, it's instilled. Let me just erase the quick little pencil tick marks that I forgot to do before. This is actually turning out really well. The pink is streaky because I used a water-based marker, but it really doesn't bother me at all. If you guys like hate it, then don't do this in your own bullet journal. But like, I've just gotten so used to the streakiness, I really don't care about it at all. Marian said that she discovered your channel right now by accident. I'm also planning my site timetable. Oh, thank you so much. Welcome to the channel. Glad you're here. Lucia Studios said that she loves my spreads. She started her first bullet journal today and made a bunch of spreads. Oh, it's super exciting. Oh my gosh. Wait, what did you make? Like, did you make a May setup? Like, I'm so excited. I love hearing about people starting a bullet journal. It's like, it's super fun, just like start a new hobby, you know? Super exciting. Okay, wait, I'm taking a little water break. 1 sec. Make sure y'all are hydrating and drinking water. Emily said that makes total sense. Okay, good. I'm glad that you like understood my ramble. Lucia said, how do you make sure you don't run out of pages for your bullet journal? Do you mean like actual like spreads in the journal or like page ideas? Because as far as like the journal itself goes, personally, I use a bullet journal for 6 months and then I go to a new bullet journal for the second half of the year. And then I usually buy journals with like 160 pages. So I've just found from using a bullet journal before that like 160 pages is plenty for me, you know, for 6 months. And then usually throughout the year, I'll just use the excess pages in the back of old bullet journals for like random things, like when I create videos or whenever I just need some like scrap paper. If you're just starting and you want to know like how many pages you need, I would start by like counting out like what you need your bullet journal for. Like, okay, for me, I need 1 spread for a cover page, 1 for a calendar, 1 for a tracker spread, occasionally 1 for an academic planner, depending what month of the year it is. So that's 4. Then I need another spread for each week. So that's 4 to 5, depending on the month. So that's totaling up to like 8 or 9. Wait, 8 or 9. I can't count on my fingers. And then I would add another spread or 2 just in case to give yourself a little wiggle room if you wanted to add an extra, like, I don't know, fancy spread 1 month. So let's say there's like 10 or 11. So if I'm using 10 or 11 spreads every month, then that's technically, well, okay, 11 spreads is like 2 pages, but like it's only one of these pages, you know? So that's 11 pages times 6 is 66. And then since it's 11 spreads, gotta multiply it again. So 11 times 6 times 2 is, if I can do math in my head, 132, maybe 44. I can't do math in my head. Wait, okay. 11 times 2 is 22 times 6. That should be 132. I could be tripping. I think it's 132. I'm not taking math this year. I'm sorry, I can't do mental math. We use calculators. But anyway, that being said, if I use 132 like pages for 6 months and this bullet journal has 160 pages, I know there's plenty of room for me for 6 months, you know? But maybe you only need like 4 spreads per month. Maybe you only need six. Maybe you're going to use a bullet journal for an entire year versus 6 months. So maybe like count ahead and make sure you give yourself a lot of like extra wiggle room for like extra spreads in case you wanted to create them. But also I feel like as you bullet journal longer, you'll kind of just get used to like your own rhythm and like finding out what spreads you particularly need and that work for your schedule and your system of productivity. And then you'll know like how long a bullet journal on average will last you. Okay, I'm just gonna use a little white gel pen and like add some designs around our little rock star character over here. So, I don't know, I'm just drawing like random squigglies. I did this on the cover page. It really has no purpose, just to like add some more designs. And of course I smeared it with my hand. That's so smart. And then I'm actually gonna add some like white stars. Usually this is where I would add like sparkles, but because this month is rock and roll, I've replaced all of my sparkles with stars instead. I just feel like it's more like, it fits the theme of like punk and rock and roll a little better, you know? Wait, I feel like the corners are missing one. It's too blank. We need to fill up this empty space. Something about me is I can never do like minimal spreads. I always want to fill up the space as much as possible. Okay, let's see, what's next? Kibujo said that she makes content as well, but she only has 3 subscribers. She has to get on top of her bullet journal. Girl, if you're following me, go follow Kiwi, okay? Kiwi, she needs the support. Go follow her channel as well. I love you, girl. We're friends on Instagram, and she also makes really good spreads, so. Okay, let's see. What stationery could I not use a bullet journal without? Okay, so let me think. Okay, so I use basically the same pens like all the time. So I'll just give you like a little list right here. So number 1, I use the Pilot G2. This is the pen that I use when I'm like writing calendars and to-dos, like writing my actual like lists of things. I don't use this for art, but I just use it for myself. I use the Ahuhu. Oh, I hope you're taking notes, by the way. I make a quick little list if you if you care about it. I also use this Ahuhu fine line drawing pen. This is the size 01. They have a ton of different sizes. I hope this is in focus. Can you guys see this? Hello? I hope this is in focus. I think it is. Okay. Anyway, but 01, Ahuhu fine line drawing pen. I also have used the Sakura Pigma Micron pens. Those are also super, super good. Very similar. They're just like flat tipped. This one's like kind of worn down because I've used it for so long, but they're flat tipped fine liners. As far as calligraphy goes, I love the Tombow Fudenosuke pens. This is the blue one, which is the hard tipped. They usually come in 2 packs. So the hard tipped is just a little harder to like press down and make a thicker line. But the soft tips are just like a little easier. It's like a little more flexible, but they usually come in packs of 2. You can buy them separately, but I do love these a lot. And then as far as water-based markers, I love me Tombow dough brush pens. So these are actually really expensive, unfortunately, but they are really high quality. On one side, it's a brush nib, and then on the other side, it's a fine liner. It's not really a fine liner, it's more like just a normal fine tipped pen. These are more expensive though, unfortunately, especially I think if you like live outside the US, they may be even more expensive. So what I would recommend instead, if I can grab one, are Crayola Super Tips. These, they come in like huge packs and they're super, super cheap. So this just has like a normal marker nib, but it is flexible enough that you can, if you press on hard enough, use it for calligraphy. I've done that especially in the past before. They work great. They're really cheap compared to like Tombow's. So I recommend those. So those are like my, I guess, like 5 or 6 pens that I use all the time. Along with, you know, some washi tape, some stickers, but those aren't really necessary for bullet journaling. I also, lastly, I do use alcohol markers. So this is a set from Sanjoki that I have right now. I also love the Ahuhu alcohol markers, although those are currently not with me. They're at my house. But I can't use them directly into my journal because they bleed through, because alcohol markers are super pigmented. So like I said at the beginning of this live, I use them for like art like this, which I do on sticker paper separately, because then it doesn't matter if it bleeds through, because obviously I can just peel off the back and like stick it right in. So yeah, those are the main ones. Hopefully you got all that. I know I talk like kind of fast. If you need me to write them in the chat, I will. I'll do that for you. Actually, let me write that right now. Coming over to the chat. Let me see. Top stationery. I just mentioned. So, Pilot G2 pens. Fine liners. Sakura Pig Micron. Fine liners. Tombow dual brush pens. Tombow Fudenosuke pens. Okay. Yeah, if you need any of the stationery that I just mentioned, I just put it in the comment, or in the chat box, so you guys can like go reference that. You guys are talking a lot. Oh my goodness. Okay. Drawing. Thank you so much. She said my drawing is so nice. I appreciate it. Can you say slay? Girl. My sister loves saying slay. That's crazy. How much money do you think you spend on essential bullet journal stationery? Okay, so it's weird because it's complex. Basically, I spent a lot more money on essentially like supplies when I first started, like 2020, 2021, because I wanted to like gather a lot of stuff. And I was also like a really small creator then. I still am a small creator, but I was like smaller. So I got like everything myself. I also asked for things for my birthday, but in general, I think that stationery can be, inexpensive if you just like not go for the super expensive ones. That's like obviously. But like, how I just said, Tombows are more expensive. Grayless Super Tips are a lot cheaper. They're very similar. This one doesn't have the nib at the end, but it works the same way similarly. So like, you can save a lot of money on it. It just depends. I will say that as like a content creator in the past couple of years, I have like worked with brands a lot more often, and they do send me some like gifted supplies or like pens and stuff. But in general, I do buy a lot of things myself. I do find that like a lot of the pens that I have right now, I have had for years. Like my pack of Curly Super Tips I've had for 3 years at least. Most of my Tombows I've had for years, although I do find sometimes, and I do love Tombows a lot, but like because I've had them for so long, if you look really closely, I guess it's kind of hard to see. Sometimes the nib will like start to fray. I'm sure if you guys can see this in focus. It's like really hard to see on camera, but sometimes the nibs will start to fray on Tombows and or other brush nibs if you use them for a long time. I can only point out the Tombow one because that's the ones I've had for the longest, but I would say that they are worth the money. They just, after a couple years will like start to get a little bit more loose in the nib. The other nib, like the other end right here, is like totally fine though. It stays perfect like all the time. So yeah, I do replace them and like add to the collection, but I'm at this point like rarely buying huge packs of stationery, like a 20 pack or a 50 pack of markers, just because I have a lot of old stationery that I just kind of accumulate and use over time. I recommend like getting a good set when you're first starting out, and then you don't have to worry about buying anything more because it will last you like a while, The one thing I will say is alcohol markers, I think, are the ones that will run out of ink if you use them for a long time. They do make refills for pens. I'm not sure if they have them at Sanjoki. I know they have them at Ahuhu. Also Copic markers, but Copic markers are so goddamn expensive. Like, they're so expensive for no reason, so don't get those. But yeah, overall, that's what, I don't know. It really depends on where you get them, but I do try to, like, not spend too much and rather just, like, use what I have. Or if I do need a specific pen for a theme, I'll just like run over to Michael's and get like 1 or 2 pens, but like I won't get a huge pack, So I think just like get one to start out with, and then like over time, they'll usually last you a long while. One person asked, you made that on your own? Yeah, I drew this last night. I used a reference picture off of Pinterest, by the way. I wish I could put it on the screen. I obviously can't because it's live, but I did take a reference picture of, I don't know what her name is, this really cool rockstar girl that I've been like saving pictures of on my Pinterest page. By the way, shameless plug, but if you guys wanted to follow me on any of my social media, Pinterest, Instagram, TikTok, my personal Instagram, anything like that, it's always in the description boxes of my videos if you want to go check them out and follow me over there. Okay, I really need to focus on like finishing because I've just been like chatting for about 10 minutes and like not finishing the spread. So basically, the box is over here. Um, oh, I need to add like the days, like the days of the week. So today is the 3rd. Let's see, 4th, 5th. So Monday's the 6th. So add small little days. Okay, I made a mistake. I wrote notes here. This isn't supposed to say notes because notes is usually just like to-do lists, in which case I'd have them on this side over here. So instead of being like notes, it should say like next week, or I'd have like a next week section of what I want to do next week. But anyway, I'm going to draw a little heart here. I may use it for our next week section anyway and just like ignore the title, but I did make a mistake there. Okay. Dominic said, brother, this man said it looks good for a 10-year-old. You couldn't do this, Dominic. Shut up. Yes, I drew the guitar girl on my own last night. Honestly, proportion-wise, it's not my favorite. I think her eyes are a little too, like, buggied out. Like, it looks like she's, like, really, really staring at something over here, but... And also, like, I don't love I put her in biker shorts, but, like, the guitar I love and her hair I love. So, yeah, I'm working on it. I find that with months like this where I'm drawing, like, people, it helps me with, like, proportions and stuff and, like, getting used to drawing different characters because over, like, the course of a month when I have a bullet journal theme, I'm, like, practicing different ways to draw basically the same thing, you know, or similar things, and I'm getting better at it. Like, for example, at the beginning of this month, I could not draw a guitar, you know? But, like, now I kind of know how to draw basically what a guitar looks like. It's not perfect, but basically what a guitar looks like. So, you know, one thing about bullet journaling that I say all the time is, like, because you're drawing the same thing for a month, you know, you can really get better at it over time and, like, add a new drawing to, like, your arsenal that you know how to draw, you know, I guess, without a picture reference, you know? Like, I bet you right now I could draw a guitar without a picture reference, even though a couple weeks ago I probably could not do that, like, at all. Someone asked, where am I from? I'm from the US and I live in Texas. Hi, Lalisa. Welcome to the live. Okay, Lucia said I could do notes for next week. Yeah, that's what I was planning. Oh, you mean like write that? You know, actually, it's not a bad idea. Let me write that with calligraphy, like notes for next week. You're so right. Because, like, I don't even need that much space here. Notes for next week. Okay. Kind of a long title compared to the others, but I don't really need that much space because next week after this is like my first official week of summer because I'm moving out Wednesday. It's like it's gonna be super fun, you know? And I'm not gonna have anything like really planned, so I don't need that much space to plan. I just have like a little box right there. Lucia said your answer for Dominic. You know, haters gonna hate. That's all right. Where did you get your sticker paper? I need some of that. I love that you answered that, Kiwi Bujo, because I got my sticker paper from Online Labels. This is not a sponsored live at all, but I do partner with this brand a lot, and I love, 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 love their sticker paper. So I can actually, I forgot what my code is. I could put a link in the chat for you guys to get money off the sticker paper. Let me go do that right now, in case you're interested. It's really high sticker paper, high quality, and you can get, like, a lot of... you can get like whatever like size pack you want, you know, and they also do like little labels. It's turning into like a sponsored content. I swear it's not sponsored, but like I do love Online Label sticker paper. And let me just put the link in the chat if you guys are looking to get sticker paper. Yeah, so with that link you can get $5 off and a $15 purchase, so get some money off if you want to buy some. Someone asked, are you married? No, I'm in college. I am way too young to be married right now. Actually, I don't know. But no, I'm not married. Not married at all. Okay, well, I'm trying to think like what else I want to do to the spread to kind of jazz it up. I'm also thinking this is pretty much it. Because, like, I have everything set up here. I'm going to put my to-dos here. I'm going to put my tasks here. Oh, you know what I should do? I should add stars everywhere. That's what I need to do. Okay, wait. Adding stars, because I added the white stars in this right corner. But I need to, like, do it in black everywhere else to kind of, like, balance out the spread. And also one thing, I don't know if you guys noticed, but like this like section of boxes is not even. It's only like 1 dot away from the edge here, but it's 2 dots away from the edge here and here. So to kind of, oh wait, you guys can't even see that. What am I talking about? Here you go. Okay, so this like section of boxes is only 1 dot away here and here, but it's 2 dots away here and here. So one thing I tried to do to hide that was put like this washi tape and sticker section here to kind of hide the fact that it's farther away here, because you're like filling up that extra space. And similarly here, I'm drawing a couple stars like right here and right here on this side to kind of hide the fact that it's like farther on this side. You know what I mean? Like filling up that extra space hides the fact that things are a little off center. And the only reason it is off center is because I had to put like a gap of space in between these two. And so that's why, because there's an even amount of dot spaces, but I had to put like one gap in. So it threw it off, but it doesn't bother me at all. Sometimes with your bullet journal, it just can't be perfect, you know, and that's fine. Totally okay. Okay, I think that this May title is a little too high, so I'm gonna write something under it. So I'm just gonna put like 6th right here to the 12th to kind of balance out like vertically, and then I'll add stars right there to kind of fill up that extra space as well. I'm really just adding stars everywhere. But it's like rock and roll, you know? They always have stars everywhere. It's not gonna be perfect. Some of this is a little sloppy. Like that star. Wow, that's, oh wow. That's an ugly star. I literally said something was gonna be sloppy, so I dropped the most ugly star of my life. Oh my goodness. Okay. I think I need to stop myself. Wait, one more. One more. Okay. I think that's good. Okay, I'm gonna answer a couple last minute questions. Lucia asked, when you started your bullet journal, were you making it to get a big following or more for fun? Gotta be so honest. As much as I love sharing my spreads online, I was looking to create a small following, you know, when I first started, hoping to like make this a side hustle and whatever. And I'm glad it's like slowly turning into that. Yeah, so I did start in like 2020. And that's like kind of my goal. My goal was like part of both, but yeah, part of it was to make money, but part of it was also to, you know, create a community online, share with everybody. And I'm glad that we have a little like center of the internet, our little side of the internet on my channel. Zuza said she needs to go to sleep. Girl, get your sleep. Don't let me stop you. Get your beauty rest. All right. Well, that is going to be it for us today. Thank you guys so much for joining me. This was so much fun. I love chatting with y'all. I really need to do this more often. And I know we had some technical difficulties at the beginning, so my apologies for that. But overall, I think we made a really cute spread. I'll be posting this on Instagram. So go follow me. Shameless plug, go follow me on Instagram. Like I said, all the socials are in the description box of this video and all of my videos. And yeah, I'm gonna head out. Love you guys so much. Have a great rest of your day or evening or night or whatever, wherever you are. And I will see you guys actually tomorrow for a new video. Really excited about that one. So see you guys tomorrow. Bye guys. Goodbye. Have a good one.